Today is April 10th, 2018, and I started with a simple one. So the lap belt, fortunately there was a former bolt hole that this screwed right into on the driver's side by the B-pillar, so that worked good. And then I went over to the right side of the seat, and there was a structure underneath that had 2 layers of sheet metal. And there's a plate that comes with our kit for our safety belt. So drill a hole through there and then put a piece of 3/16 over the top of that, just to give it some added strength. So it's probably a lot stronger than the other side. Then I started working on the seat base. So this is a 6-point. So the submarine belts need some place to attach. And yes, they're a little bit offset to my left side, which is the right side of the seat, but that is because the seat is offset onto this mount. So I went ahead and ran some 1.25 inch, 1.5 1/8 inch wall angle, and then attached that to the back, because in the event of an accident, the body is going to be moving towards the front, so you're actually going to pull this way, and these are about 20-degree angle to the seat. Also went back and added some 1.5 by 1.5 1/8 inch, and that is just a mount for the back of the seat. So we'll put it together and see how it fits. We now have 2/3 of our seat belt. So the sub belt is mounted to the seat frame, and like I said before, the lap belt is mounted to anchor points either where the original seat belt was or into the transmission tunnel. And once we get our tubing, hopefully in the next day or two, we will have shoulder harnesses. So very good on that point. Now got to find the next thing to work on. Show you more. Today is April 11th, 2018, and we have remove the mechanical fan, because we've heard from a couple different people that have run these that if you lose a motor mount, it takes out the fan and water hoses. So we had planned on just running the pusher anyway. So got this solidly mounted. Just have to do the final wiring hookup. Got some more clamps. Got some new BMW clamps. Those are supposed to be the best for these. And also finished the exhaust system. Still waiting on steel, so I'm going to go check on that now and see if we have steel to continue our roll cage. So we now have a complete cooling system. I haven't picked up my tools yet, but got all hoses on, did a bypass, 2 bypasses, matter of fact. One for the heater core and the other one for the throttle body, since we don't care if it's cold or warm, because it'll probably only be driven when it's warm, of course. So those hoses are in. Probably tie this up. We get the heater box in, or the air box in. But good day all around. Most important thing is the fan is mounted, and it is very rigidly mounted. So good day. We should get our steel tomorrow. If not, I'm going to go someplace else. Today is April 13th, 2018. Took almost a week to get steel, so my local supplier took forever, and then when it came in, it was incorrect. So I drove to Charlotte, and highly recommend Stock Car Steel. If you're in the area, they said you can also order it online, so look them up. They had 360 feet. I only needed 30, so doing the first diagonal, still taking my time and measuring everything, the angles and that, and everything looks good. So we'll finish tacking this in and we'll do the other half. Well, I'm happy now. We have our X-brace tacked in, so I'm getting low on gas, so it's Friday afternoon, actually after everything's closed, so I got enough to tack everything in for the weekend, and it'll give me time to relax and come in Monday and get a new tank and weld. So it is So it's April 14th, 2018 in the morning. Just got the second tube on the passenger side for the future harness bar or stiffening bar, whatever you want to call it, installed. So we'll do some final trimming on that and it will be ready to go. And then we'll move on to the door bars. So I think what I'm going to do is move the driver's side door bar, the top one, down. So I found I can reuse the top one that was over there on the passenger side as a lower bar, just to give us a little bit better egress, because I think it goes up too far and is a little hard to get in and out of. So we'll try that out next. Well, I changed up the design a little bit. I had this tube originally on the driver's side and cut it and fit it, and it was too high. So since I know this side's a little bit shorter, I just repurposed it on the other side, and also flipped the tubes around, because when I had the upper and lower tubes in there on the X-bar with the seat in, and I put steering wheel on, my elbow was hitting the tubes. So these are just set in place right now. They're fit, but I'm going to finish that tube on the other side and see if I have more clearance for my elbow. Show you more in a minute. I'm much happier now. So the bars, lower bars in the front are going to be 8 inches. Rules are 7.5 inches outside to outside. So these are just held in place, as you can tell, the ratchet strap. So we have door bar X's in. We have everything now to meet the rules except the down bars that go from the main hoop to the wheel well, strut tower, whatever you want to call it. So I will do those next. It's the end of the workday for April 14th, 2018. Had a productive day. Got the door bars all cut and fit. Let's see if I can do this. Got the plate mounted on the rear wheel well for the down bar, and as you can see, I got the first down bar in. So it's supposed to be 45 plus or minus, and it's about 44.5. So I figure I can tweak that a little bit and get that to fit perfectly. Now I got to do the driver's side, and I think the major tube work is done. But of course we'll check the rules to make sure. Today is April 16th, 2018, and we're just getting a bunch of little things done this morning. I'm going to run now and go get some gas and some wire and a bolt to just make a parts run, but we now have the remote reservoir. It's like $6 from Amazon. It's a little reservoir used for motorcycle brakes, and we also have the reservoir for the brakes blocked off, and that is where the fluid usually comes from. The other thing we got done this morning is we had a bushing missing for the accelerator pedal, and now that I put both in, I think that was what's causing the accelerator pedal to have a lot of travel before it actually made contact and started pulling. So that is all fixed now. 2 new bushings on each side. They were about $1.32 a piece. I think it cost more to ship them than it did to actually get them, but we got them on Saturday and installed them this morning. So one more thing to check off the box. So it's March 17, 2018. It's a little dirty, but I spent the rest of the day yesterday finishing up the rocker boxes, so for rocker plates. So those are all welded to the car. I had to take my time because I catch car on fire a lot, and I had to weld around the gas tank, so that took a little extra time. Also got the rear plate for the driver's side down bar. That is all welded in, and that's where you catch the wheel well on fire a lot, so you have to take your time when you weld that. So I spent most of the morning getting the hydraulic clutch done, the accelerator pedal all worked out, so figure out where the extra travel was coming from, and I welded in plate where the heater box was, a drain, and one on the driver's side or passenger side cowl for where the wires pass through that we don't use anymore. So now the cabin is all done except the main center one. The next thing I did went through and welded in these extra bars that we decided to put in, so if you get a side impact, nobody goes up underneath you and crushes the rocker in. So those are all welded in all 4 places. So the next thing I'm going to do is weld in the X-brace, because you have to have these welds done on each side before you can put in the harness bar. And before I can put in the harness bar on the driver's side, I have to put in the X-brace. Just want to make sure I get my process right, so I don't have to end up cutting tube, because I'm short on tube and probably have to drive to Charlotte again. So we're going to make sure all this works right, and we'll start welding. So I now have the bottom X-brace welded at the bottom, welded in the middle, and in the upper one that goes to the passenger side, welded in the middle. I'll do the upper one when I cut the roof. But I have to fit those, get those finished, and now as you can see I'm putting in the harness bars, because I want to make sure both harness bars fit in, and then I will put the X-brace bars in, because I can't really weld, one piece in and then go, oops, the other piece doesn't fit in. So I'm going to make sure everything fits, and I will weld it. Making progress. Got the driver's side door bars fully welded in. They are ready to go. Got the driver's side harness bar in. Of course, the X-braces were fully welded earlier. And I have the other stuff set in place, and just when I was getting ready to tack them, of course I ran out of wire. So my little welder only takes a 2-pound spool, and I used 2 pounds between yesterday and today. So I'll pick up 2 more. Bad for me. But there's always something else to work on. Just going over the rules right now and making sure everything will work, and we'll keep double checking.